Hi guys, this is Parikshit from Bangalore. Currently pursuing my CA articleship from Guru and Jana Chartered Accountants. My CA final attempt is due in November 2024. Today, let's try to understand how do we clear CA final self-paced law exams. I will try to keep this discussion as short as possible, say by 10 minutes. Okay, so we'll share my screen. I would divide my discussion into three parts. First one being the resources. Number two, how much to study and what depth. Number three, what is the level of exams? So let's start with resources. You can use two resources. First one is Shubham Singhal sir's concept notes, that is around 250 pages. And number two is Hemant Somani's summary notes. First one, your source material must be Shubham Singhal's notes because that is comprehensive enough and covers all the provisions. So here you have to do two important things. One, highlight all the important timelines and dates because now that this is a not a descriptive exam and an objective exam, there is no need for you to by heart things. So what you have to do is you have to judiciously highlight all the important timelines and dates. Number one. Number two is delete irrelevant points. Say out of 250 pages, if you try to condense it, you can take it to somewhere around 80 to 100 pages. So balance, you can try to place a cross mark against all the irrelevant points so that you can read only the relevant things a day before the exam. Next is Hemant Somani sir's notes. Here, you have to use the one-liner limits. I don't think there's a need to see his MCQs because once you have the conceptual clarity, you will be in a position to comfortably tackle the MCQs. So what you have to use in this notes is the one-liner limits, especially for something like, say, FEMA and SEBI, which is quite voluminous and would also interestingly fetch somewhere around 30 to 35 marks. So it is very important for you to study this at a very short span of time. So how you can leverage this notes is try to read only the monetary limits and the timelines from Hemant Somani's notes so that you don't lose out on the marks. And as I told you, since this is an objective exam, there is no need to solve any other MCQs other than the BOS portal. So in Shubham Singhal sir's notes, there are MCQs, individual MCQs. You have to compulsorily solve that, number one. And number two, on the BOS portal app, there are case scenario MCQs. If you try to solve that chapter wise, you will get a hang over the MCQ patterns and as to how do you solve it. So that was as regards topic one. Now let's try to understand topic number two. This is regarding depth of studies as to how much you should study. See, number one, it should be a concept-based reading. You should not try to mug up anything. Please focus on concept-based learning. Although ICI tells that is an expert-based knowledge is required, my first-hand experience says there is no need to have a detailed understanding of the provisions. If you just understand the intent of law as to what the law is trying to say, that should help you to clear the exams. And number two, as I told you, you have to just read and understand. There is no need to mug up. Please delete all the irrelevant points. That will save a lot of time during last day revisions. That was regarding topic two. Now let's get into topic three, important and interesting topic. See, when I faced the exam, when I saw the question paper, I felt it was an average paper. But when I came out of the exam hall, I felt it was easy to average because at least 60 to 70 marks out of 100 was easy for me. When I say it was easy, it was out of the concept notes only. There was no special, preparation required to tackle this exam. So as I told, this is an average, easy to average paper. Okay. And knowledge based, no need to mug up anything. Out of 100 marks, 50 to 60 marks would be easy. When I say easy, it would be, something, say, it is the action of the director right or wrong, timelines for reappointment, no such things like that. There is, interestingly and luckily, there is no penalty questions asked in the exam. So this is one good thing for us because else we will have to remember a lot of provisions. And 30 to 40 marks would be application based. Application is you would understand the provisions, you interlink the provisions, and then arrive at a conclusion. So this would somewhere range between 20 to 30 marks in the paper. Even if you ignore this, you would be comfortably able to clear the exam because this would have 60 marks. So let's target 50 plus and clear the exam in first go. Now, important topics to focus. See, out of my first-hand experience and when I interacted with my peers, I found out IBC has a very good amount of weightage in the paper. It is dominating all other chapters because this would range anywhere between 10 to 15 marks. In my attempt, it was 14 marks. I vividly remember two case studies of 10 marks each and 4 mark one case study. So it's very important to focus on IBC. Winding up is a very important concept. Again, this is a very dry chapter. So what you can do is from Shubham Singhal sir notes, you can just read the concepts and again reiterate and revise the same from Hemant Somani's one-liners. So you'll be in a position to tackle this as well. FCR a very short chapter and will fetch you marks also, and there is nothing great to remember in this. So it should be easy to fetch marks from this. And directors, very important. When I say directors, there are three chapters here. First one is qualification and appointment. Number two, managerial remuneration. Number three is board meeting and powers. So if you are able to cover these three chapters, take this from me, you should be able to score 25 to 20 to 25 marks from this section itself. So if you try to cover these four topics, right, you would be able to fetch anywhere between 45 marks. Now, let me try to give some general tips. See, if you see the BOS portal questions, the case studies are too lengthy and it takes a lot of time to study. Unlike that, in the exam, case studies were reasonably easier. I mean, in terms of length, if you take a A4 size sheet, the questions would be somewhere around 3/4 of a page. So it's easier to read the question and keep in memory and then go to the questions. Okay. So as I told you, first read the requirement part as to what is the question asking you, and then go back to the case study and read the entire data. And one more thing, students were asking me, if we attempt question number 1 and if we don't say question number 2, can we go to 3, 4, 5, complete the paper and then come back to 2? Yes, that is possible. And good thing is, you don't have to search also as to what is unattempted. The system will throw you a dialogue telling that this question is unattempted. So you can go back to that at any point of time and then attempt that. Calculators are very important. Please don't think this is a theory paper. Managerial remuneration and any other topic for that matter can have a practical question. Please carry a calculator of 12 digits. ICI has, written clearly in the instructions that you can carry a calculator up to 12 functions. And working sheets would be provided by the exam center. You can judiciously utilize that. And please, return back the papers to the invigilator. And if you're confident with SEBI, as far as starting the paper is concerned, if you are confident with SEBI, please go ahead with SEBI because that will fetch you 20 marks. Most of the cases, I understand students are ignoring SEBI. In that case, you can start with company law because it is reasonably easier than economic law. You can complete company law, then go to economic law, followed by the SEBI. One last bonus tip I would say is, see, I passed the exam with 74 marks with reasonable studies. When I say reasonable studies, it was somewhere around 7 to 8 days with 3.5 average hours of study per day. So that would come up to 30 hours on an average. So if I'm able to crack the exam in the first go, you can also do it. So give your best shot. All the very best. Keep in touch. If you have any specific queries, please post in the comment section. I'll get back to you on that. All the very best. Thank you so much.